Chapter 1. The Ledge. A bolt of lightning struck the side of the jungle cliff, violently shattering rock and foliage, sending an avalanche of broken shale down upon the tiny ledge below. Charlie Hatfield hugged the inner crevice of the ledge as best he could, as rocks hit his body, tearing clothes, cutting skin, and bruising flesh. A large moss-covered rock tumbled downward, striking Charlie's hands that were covering his head and crushing 3 fingers. Thunder rolled overhead as Charlie groaned in pain. There was nobody to hear his cries, nobody to rescue him from this tiny perch looking down at the fire-filled jungle below. The rains pounded him in great sheets as winds shot down the cliff. Then, just as quickly, the winds reversed and shot upward. There were moments when the rain held its position in mid-air, hovering, confused, as it gathered its bearings before being swept away. In his 42 years, Charlie had witnessed no other storm like this one, and at this perilous moment, he believed this storm would be his last. 80 feet above the jungle floor, Charlie fought to remain conscious as he clutched desperately to a vine. His knees were bent beneath him, his upper body teetering perilously. He could feel himself losing control. "God, no," he muttered, as his eyes closed and he blacked out. His body relaxed, teetered, and fell from the ledge most gracefully. The wind pushed upward, as though Mother Nature herself was attempting to slow his fall. Smoke pushed past him as the winds blew upward. His body tumbled without resistance, his hair moving back and forth across his relaxed face. The rope he had previously secured to the ledge above and tied around his waist began to tighten. 20 feet above the jungle floor, the rope went taut, and Charlie's body jerked to a violent stop. He was doubled over at the waist, with his arms dangling against his legs like a rag doll. Charlie's face remained relaxed and lifeless as his body swayed back and forth on the rope, bumping against the cliff. Lightning pierced the clouds above, shattering the darkness along its descent toward the mountains and the fire-stricken jungle. Repeatedly, lightning struck as Charlie dangled on the rope, swinging back and forth, appearing to be caught in an electrically charged spider's web. A loud clap of thunder rolled through the heavens, and Charlie's eyes snapped open. The smoke swirling up the cliff wall confused him. Perhaps he was on his way to heaven, or rather hell, to suffer for the sins he had committed during his mortal life. When the pain returned to his head and broken fingers, he realized he was not dead. It was nearly impossible for him to get a breath of air. The rope was so tight around his waist. As Charlie grasped for the rope to pull himself upright, his broken-fingered hand sent a shock of pain racing through his body. He waited for the pain to lessen and then made another attempt with his good hand to right himself. This time, although it was still extremely painful, he was able to right himself, making it easier to breathe. Lightning hit the cliff overhead, and more shale fell toward Charlie. Fortunately, this time he was out of its path. Charlie grabbed hold of the vegetation protruding from the cliff and pulled himself under the wall. Because he had reached the end of the rope, there was no chance to continue his descent, and so, with his free hand, Charlie untied the rope from his waist. The moment he was free from the support of the rope, he grasped at the rain-drenched vegetation, trying to slow his fall. In this manner he slid down the cliff, grabbing and hoping, but his hands simply could not take hold. He hit the ground hard and crumpled into a heap at the base of the cliff, right where the Honduran soldiers had camped the night before. They were gone now, having fled when the lightning began less than an hour ago. Charlie looked toward his perch.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.